Welcome back. So glad you could join me for Proverbs 17. And oh man, hang on a second. I forgot to shave. Just a sec. Nope. Okay, roll the intro. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment below on what your favorite verse was from today, and let's go ahead and get started. Proverbs 17. Better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of feasting with strife. A wise servant will rule over a son who causes shame and will share an inheritance among the brothers. The refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the hearts. An evildoer gives heed to false lips. A liar listens eagerly to a spiteful tongue. He who mocks the poor reproaches his maker. He who is glad at calamity will not go unpunished. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children is their father. Excellent speech is not becoming to a fool, much less lying lips a prince. A present is a precious stone in the eyes of its possessor. Wherever he turns, he prospers. He who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. Rebuke is more effective for a wise man than 100 blows on a fool. An evil man seeks only rebellion, therefore a cruel messenger will be sent against him. Let a man meet a bear robbed of her cubs, rather than a fool in his folly. Whoever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from his house. The beginning of strife is like releasing water. Therefore stop contention before a quarrel starts. He who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the just, both of them are like an abomination to the Lord. Why is there in the hand of a fool the purchase price of wisdom, since he has no heart for it? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A man devoid of understanding shakes hands in a pledge and becomes surety for his friend. He who loves transgression loves strife, and he who exalts his gate seeks destruction. He who has a deceitful heart finds no good, and he who has a perverse tongue falls into evil. He who begets a scoffer does so to his own sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. A merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. A wicked man accepts a bribe behind the back to pervert the ways of justice. Wisdom is in the sight of him who has understanding, but the eyes of a fool are on the ends of the earth. A foolish son is grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. Also to punish the righteous is not good, nor to strike princes for their uprightness. He who has knowledge separates his words, and a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. Even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. When he shuts his lips, he is considered perceptive. Proverbs 17. There's so much I could say about this whole chapter, but let's jump right in at verse 7. Excellent speech is not becoming to a fool, much less lying lips to a prince. The juxtaposition is interesting between the fool, who cannot even have excellent speech, and a prince who cannot have lying lips. It's almost like when you're in the position of a fool, you can't have excellent speech. When you're in the position of a prince, you can also not have lying lips. So it's important that if we, of course, want to reach for high places, or as children of the Lord, we want to always strive to be the best, we can't have lying lips or unexcellent speech. I really appreciate verse 10 right here. Rebuke is more effective for a wise man than 100 blows on a fool. The wise will hear rebuke. The wise man will take things to heart. Whereas a fool, you could hit him 100 times and he's still not going to go in the right direction. With a fool, you could tell him and tell him and tell him. You could beat him. You could, throw him in prison, whatever you want to say, 100 blows. For a fool, it's never going to fix him. But a simple rebuke to a wise man can a lot of times take that wise man to the next level. That's why it's so important that we take that constructive criticism to heart, and that we have those friends who we trust who can tell us things that we may miss ourselves. Oh boy, verse 14 is a great one. Have you ever seen a video of a dam break or a river that's beginning to overflow and all the rush of water is just coming down? There's absolutely no way that you could ever stop it. Well, in verse 14, the beginning of strife is like releasing water. Therefore, stop contention before a quarrel starts. We always need to be peacemakers. We always need to be working toward peace. And sometimes that means, even if we're right, being humble and apologizing for beginning a quarrel or beginning contention. This is so important that we make peace with those around us before the quarrel starts, because it's like releasing a dam. You can never get that water back in. I love verse 22. If you know me, you know I'm always cheerful. A merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. All right, we'll go ahead and end on verse 27 and 28 as well. It's a very common theme in Proverbs that you need to watch your words, watch your speech, and think before you speak. Right here, he who has knowledge spares his words, and a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. He who has knowledge doesn't just blurt things out. He doesn't just say whatever's on his mind. He thinks through those things. He doesn't just spout ignorance. There's wisdom and understanding on his mind, and he carefully weighs his words before he says them. And a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. He's just even-keeled, level-headed. He doesn't go so far ups with the ups and so far down with the downs. He's just going. A calm spirit, no matter what's happening. Whereas, contrast that with verse 28. Even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. When he shuts his lips, he is considered perceptive. You see how important it is to remain quiet, to remain pensive, to remain attentive, and always listening rather than being the one to speak all the time. Because even a fool is counted wise if he holds his peace. There are some people that you may think are so wise just because they never say anything. And because they never say anything, you never know. But it's that perception right there. When he shuts his lips, he is considered perceptive. Even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. Because if he's not spouting foolishness, then he could be wise for all we know. So let's take some of these things to heart. Let's think before we say. Let's try to remain even-keeled like we just read in those last couple verses. So don't forget to like this video, comment what your favorite verse was below, and don't forget to share this video as well, and we'll see you back here for Proverbs 18.